Now, what I'm going to do also, I want to blur it. I don't want it as sharp as that. You could go for as sharp as that, but I'm just going to go for filters and blur and just down to Gaussian blur. Not excessive amount of blurring, but make it reasonably blurred. So 15 pixels. Now what I want to do is get a selection from that. And the best way to do that, always moves my mouse. Unfortunately, has a tendency to move the image right across the screen. My apologies for that. So select and selection from layer. Now you can see it's a slightly more sort of smooth, rounded sort of selection. Well, what I want to do now is actually invert that. So go to select and invert pixel selection because I want to distort this, not this particularly. However, I don't want the type to be there. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to get rid of it. Doesn't particularly matter. I'm just going to, but I want the actual selection. Now, because unfortunately that's one feature that's not here, which is very odd. There is no, in Photoshop, you've got a type selection feature. But this is a way around it, of course. Create this. Now I want to deform this. I'm just going to go for filters and distort and deform. And I'm going to deform this area around here. Now I'm not going to add pins around the type. That's a possibility. You could do that to create the effect. Doesn't actually work that well. And also if you add too many pins, it does have a tendency to crash. So I would suggest before you do anything, file and save if you want to save it in case you lose it. Because I did about 40 and it crashed. But I'm going to put it around the edge. I'll put a lot of them around the edge. Not too many because I don't want it to crash. So I'm just going to put a reasonable selection. Now it's a pity that they've never added a freeze feature around the edge. I would love to see that in the deform. So instead, solution, very quick solution, is to add some handles or pins, or what you want to call these dots, around the entire document. And you can just do that quickly. Once you've done that, now make certain you click apply. Otherwise you'll lose the effect. But what you can do, you can simply drag now from different positions. And as you drag, make certain you go to that layer because it's not going to be. However, you still got this problem. Now you might have to crop if you want to avoid this sort of wobbly edge. But you can see what happens. You drag and the color just warps around this because this is selected. You're not modifying that, but you're modifying around it. So you can see what happens. The text gets, so you get some nice color effects, but it does have a tendency to slightly pull in. Virtually impossible to stop it, pull in slightly. But these pins sort of attempt to avoid that sort of dragging, but it does mean the color goes around the type. Not perfect. You can still see it sort of creeps in there a bit, sort of. Up here red. Now you can add again too many pins, and that's why I would suggest file and save in case you do, just crashes. Shouldn't crash. And I've put 50 or 60, I've put lots of pins, handles, and it hasn't been a problem, but I've noticed occasionally it does have a tendency to crash. So just to avoid it, it's best to do that. So you can see what happens. You can just simply add that and it just goes around it. So you can sort of move it around there. You can see the image then just doesn't go exactly into it. And you can distort it in all kinds of ways. And you can always try similarity. Just try that. In this case, it doesn't really have much difference. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So you can just keep adding pins and again, avoid making certain hopefully it doesn't crash. Click apply. Now you can see what's happened with the type. And you can, of course, you can always try, and I love trying this, filters, repeat deform. Just apply it again. And you can always undo if it doesn't come out right. And you can always deselect. And you can see what happens. You've got your type there. And you can see the word type, and you haven't obviously got. Now you could bring this back in again and apply, maybe create another selection. Perfectly reasonable. So you can always bring it back. So there's the type there if you want, bring it back. And you could create another selection from that, maybe apply different effects, distort it some way, then add some more complexity to it. You can move the type around, maybe move it up to there and do exactly the same to create another selection. Doesn't have to be, we'll just leave it as is. But also what you can do, go back to this. Now without that, repeat this. Now if you do it without the selection, you see what happens. It just wipes it out. But you can go to select and reselect at any point. You can see your selection again. perfectly reasonable, and repeat deform. And it will warp around there, and let's see, select and deselect. And you still got the word type. Actually creates a real nice sort of 60s, sort of psychedelic, weird, surreal thing. And you could do a lot more with this. You could probably create some nice sort of layer effect designs, maybe use sort of selections with shadows in it. All possible things as well you could do. And maybe I might do some tutorials on that as well, just to see what sort of, you can see you've still got the type, you've got around it, sort of distorting around it. And again, you can always undo if you don't want that. Or again, repeat deform, maybe apply it a couple of times, 3 or 4 times, and you can see the result of a very nice sort of selection around that type. And again, select and deselect, and you can still just about make out the word type. And it could, of course, be anything. It could be sunny or dream world or whatever you want to put there to create this sort of nice, surreal, psychedelic-like text. And of course, you could create some variations where you do it with the central text as well. That's another thing. You don't have to keep it. So you could say, reselect again, maybe then just do the work inside here. Just quickly go back to filters and deform. Instead of having selection outside, just simply go to select and invert pixel selection. Now it's there. And again, simply go for distort and deform. So the work is only going to be, and you could quickly add some pins around the edge. Now I haven't done this already. It's always nice to try things out, and you can see you could distort the type just slightly. Only slightly, it doesn't have to be, so you don't want to lose the word type. You don't want to not have it slightly distorted. Up to you. Depends what you want to do with it. And again, you could create all kinds of other additional effects. Maybe go, and I've just done that there, just so it's slightly distorted from away from just the word, just a basic type. And you've still got the type up here. So if you want to bring it back, you can always bring it back. And again, you've always got the option, add some effects to it. So click there for effects, maybe go for 3D. Oh, adding, that doesn't help. Don't want that. I want the effects to be on that one. So the key thing, layers panel, always super useful. Always check what you're actually, because sometimes I'm ending up working, I think, oh, that's strange. Why doesn't it change something? Because of course it's applying it to that. But you can do that. You can do it and just go back very quickly and you can remove it. And again, 3D there, you've got 3D, you've got outer shadow, and just add some outer shadow there. Maybe go for color overlay and so on. So many different options there. Change the type. And again, modify that. Or if you don't, simply remove it. But you can see you can create some interesting type effects with the selections, with type, with deform filter, and of course all the other filters that are in Affinity Photo. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. A dislike or like, always appreciated. Either way, thank you much.